Okay, right, for those of you who don't know, I just bloody love running, okay? And this is a story of how I ran 400k in a month. And actually, that's what I originally thought it would be. It's more of a story about how no one fucking cares if I ran 400k or not. Because I did it as a self-inflicted challenge, a silly, stupid, little, involuntary challenge that I really didn't have to do. But I said I was going to, so I did it. It's called January Battle, and yes, I'm making a video about something that happened in January in March, but I've been busy. Anyway, it's pretty simple. So you're part of a team, and you score on a leaderboard of how many team members you can get to run 400k in the month of January. And it's done purposely then because everyone knows January sucks. It's such an irrelevant month. It sucks.
It's cold, it's wet, I'm done.
Okay?
I'm done. So we grab.
But that's the beauty of it, because with running, you have purpose. This goes back a little bit to the start of 2022, when I first heard about January Battle happening. At the time, I was averaging like 100k a month maybe, so the thought of not only doubling my mileage, but quadrupling it seemed utterly absurd. And I was so baffled by why people would even do it when there's not even like a prize for it. It seemed like a lot of unnecessary commitment for a measly pat on the back, and I just wasn't prepared for it. But at the same time, I was so incredibly inspired by the people I saw doing it, and in awe in particular of the ones that made it look easy. There's this guy called Bradley, okay? He's an absolute tank. His calves have calves. And what's amazing about him is so unbelievably humble about it that I remember one Tuesday club run we were at, where you do a 10k in the evening. He'd ran a marathon that morning. That same morning, just because, and then proceeded to run a 10k in the evening. Like it was nothing. I mean, sorry, Bradley, is that not just so silly? And so when I hear or meet someone like this, I'm obviously thinking, geez, that's impressive. But in the back of my mind, also thinking, could I do that as well, maybe? Short answer, no, because I'm not Bradley, and that's okay. So fast forward 2 years and some consistent running later, I thought I was ready. I was like, how hard could it be, you know? Just gotta run a little bit more than usual this month. Turns out very fucking hard. What I want to try and draw to is that the number 400 itself is pretty arbitrary. Like, it might not mean a whole lot to people watching, or I felt for me it was pretty hard to quantify a number that big. So, logistically speaking, we've got 31 days in January, right? So, on average, if you run 12.9k a day, you'll be home and dry. Challenge completed. But it's just not that simple, is it? Because life throws other things at the way, and I'm not very good at catching them. And I didn't really help myself by being on holiday for the first week of January. So my first run was approximately 3 kilometers. Like, that's not even a dent in 400. It was abysmal. Okay, it's January 1st. I don't know how this month is gonna go. You know what's kind of unfathomable to think is that like 400 kilometers just seems so far away when I've literally just done 3. So the first week I only managed to run 38k, and that's already 62k behind schedule. Okay, I was shitting it. The second week was better. I got 91 in. That's because I managed to do a cheeky ultra. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, the 14th of January, and we're running an ultra today. It's a bit of a different one because it's basically no set distance. Just I've got a 6-hour time limit to run as far as I can. I'm excited. Packed a lot of food.
Have a great run, everyone. Enjoy the forest and the cold.
Okay, we've run a marathon. It is getting a little bit silly now. I'll probably only just do one more lap. Yeah. Let's go! And this is where I began to love the challenge, because it became so much more than running. Like, yes, crucially, the essence of the challenge is running, but it was also about finding new ways to get the miles in. Like, you can run to work, run to the pub, run for the views, run with people, run without people, run early, run late, run whenever the fuck you want and however you can. It just became ingrained in my head that that's just what had to get done. Running genuinely became like a sixth sense, that there wasn't even a second thought about what I was going to do in a day in January. I was running. I liked it or not. Eventually, when you're out the door, it's just bliss, isn't it? Because your mind's running away from you and your legs are the ones that are trying to catch up. So I got 86k in the third week, managed to clock 144k in the fourth week, which is just nuts. And nearing the end is when things started falling into place. I could sense the finish line, and the doubts went away, and a warm sense of pride came in when even Stuart, my brother, who I've looked up to my entire life for his running career, goes to me, "When are you stopping your silly miles?" Because of how wildfire run. He said he hasn't even run that far in a week. And yeah, I just think little 18-year-old Sag would have never even dreamed about running more than Stuart. But here I am, still standing. My word, I was glad it was February. So during all this, naturally, you have a lot of time to think. And what spurred me on was knowing whoever was taking part in this, like wherever they were in the world, like yes, we were competing against each other, but actually they were just doing it as part of their own personal challenge. Like some people wanted to do it quickly, some people was just part of their training routine. It really didn't matter as long as it was your challenge. Like picture Bradley stomping away over here, right? That was just breakfast for him. And then I'm just chilling in the middle somewhere, you know, with somewhat of an overlap of the runs we do. And then let's take like Meg for example, who, so after the challenge I went to Wales and took Meg on her first ever park run. She absolutely smashed it, okay? Well, I don't want to speak for her, but at the start, could sense she was pretty cautious, like not knowing what to expect. But you want to know something amazing that's happened? She's now park running off her own accord, as her own challenge. And that makes me just beyond happy. It's ridiculous. Gentlemen, she's a runner.
Don't stop running though.
We're all just on this weird little spectrum monkeying around, as Ethan would put it.
That's what we are. We're all just a bunch of monkeys, like, pretending we're not.
And then you realise there are so many other people also on their own little weird lines of competition, pitting themselves against each other for no apparent reason. Then there's overlaps of different worlds colliding and it's all just one big mess. And it only makes sense until you get rid of everyone else. And you find where you should be. Like, and it's just you against your past self. I think that's everything. I hope that made sense. Basically, pick your battles, knock them to the fucking floor, stomp all over it. No one else is going to fight them for you. And in case you forgot, I just really love running.